All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back once again. Me and my hermano. That means that means brother.
For
This
those
is
of you who
episode 17.
mm,
What'd you say?
I would say for those who don't speak the Espanol.
You know what I'm saying? My brother, mi hermano.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Take it to remember the Titans. He said, "Hey, only family in here." He said, "Hey, that's my brother. Can't you see the family resemblance?" Remember the Titans.
You know what I
Anyway,
mean?
this is episode 17 of Food, Fitness, and Fun with Dre. That's that guy.
Boom.
And with me, JD. So, this week's sponsored by segment is coming from my main man, Dre. Take it away.
Yeah. All right. This one is sponsored by My Dish. I'm a big oatmeal guy in the morning. I love oatmeal. And I like to make my oatmeal anabolic. And so I also like to play with it, put little things in there. And so this one is, let me make sure I say it the right way. It's my chocolate anabolic Lucky Charm oatmeal. I know that's a lot to
What
say.
the
It's a lot to say. I'm a flash it on the screen, or Jay will flash it on the screen.
Yeah.
But basically, what you do is there is some like oatmeal. It comes with some like Lucky Charm stuff in there. I put a ton, not a ton. I weigh everything. So I put some about a scoop, which is about 30 grams or so of protein, of whey
Okay.
protein in there. Um, I might put a little bit of creatine powder in there.
Mm-hmm.
Mix it up. Throw some of those Lucky Charm like marshmallows and stuff, and it looks
Right.
absolutely great. It's not. It's chocolate whey powder, so it gives you that chocolate taste,
Right.
as well as oatmeal. And you have some like Lucky Charms marshmallow sprinkled in. All together, we're talking probably about, if I had to guess, somewhere between 600 calories, for your morning breakfast. You know what I'm
Somewhere
saying?
around
And
600. Okay.
yeah, somewhere around 600. I'm gonna break everything down for you. Um, and it's super delicious. You would love it. It might be even less than 600 calories, be honest with you. But it's delicious. It's nutritious. Tastes great. Fills you up. And anabolic means it has a lot of protein in it. That's what we're here to do. We're here to build that body. So we need protein, especially in the morning when you're getting set up to either start that workout or just start your day. Boom.
All right. There you go. Anabolic oatmeal, baby. And what I like is he got a little bit of sweetness in there.
Just a little something,
Sweet.
little sweet.
Yo, I was listening back to our last episode crying.
Little.
Sweet.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was in there dying.
Dude,
Son,
you
classic.
gotta have that little sweet. You gotta have
Little
just a something.
sweet.
You
You know
know
what
what
I'm
I mean?
saying?
A little sweet.
Little
Nothing wrong
sweet.
with that. A little sweet. Just a
That's
little.
right.
Don't bug out with it.
Little sweet. You know, just not a lot. Just a
You
little
don't.
sweet.
What I'm saying? You don't need a full bowl of Lucky Charms, yo, because we
Right.
know that's a lot of sweet. So
It's a
just
lot
putting
of
a little
sweet.
bit. We know, like, hey, with Lucky Charms or any cereals that are like that you loved as a kid, what's the let's think about Lucky Charms. What's the thing you like the most? Is the marshmallows. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
let's just put some of these like flavorful marshmallows in there. Now you got
Right.
that, and it's gonna bring back that like, oh, remember fourth
That
grade type.
nostalgia.
Yeah. So, but you're getting a lot of protein. You're getting oatmeal to fill you up. Honestly, I can go 2 or 3 hours before I need to eat the next meal because it's really, really filling. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right. Um.
Let's get into it. Talk about it.
So yeah. So I wanted to talk about nutrition in terms of like, well, there's a lot of things. So it's like your nutrition, your eating plans, and how are you spending your money. So a lot of times we believe that in order to eat healthy it's going to cost a lot of money.
Right.
And,
That's the narrative.
that is the narrative. And I'm here to say yes and no. And so what I mean by yes and no is if you have a strict diet. So, for example, what's a strict diet? There's a diet out there called the keto diet, right? I'm not picking on the keto diet. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the keto diet.
I
But
fucking hate it.
but if you have that keto diet, right? That means you have a pretty much a strict diet. It's not flexible. You have to eat things on the keto plan. Even if you're vegan, right? If you're vegan, you have pretty much a strict diet. You have to stick to that. What I'm saying in terms of flexible dieting, which basically means, okay, yeah, I diet, but I watch my calories and it allows me to eat from the full spectrum, right? And therefore, in terms of saving money, I can spend a little bit less because I can look at things like, oh, this is, well, this beef seems to be on sale right now, or even the opposite, which we know is going on right now, where like beef prices have gone through the roof because of COVID-19. And so, meat prices are like crazy, right? And so if I say to myself, I'm on a keto diet, and keto diets, they eat a lot of meat. Well, I believe in flexible dieting. So I said to
Hmm.
myself very recently, oh, you know what? Maybe this week, I'll just do a vegan diet. Why? Because I can save some money. See?
Right.
And so it's like because I have both some vegan recipes, I have, non-vegan recipes. I'm flexible. I
Right.
don't feel that I'm losing out on something because, oh my God, what am I gonna do? It doesn't follow my keto diet. Or oh man, the vegetables got, some sort of weird virus in them and I can't eat veggies. It's like, well, if you have a more flexible diet, that allows you, in my opinion, to save a little bit of money. And with flexible dieting comes flexible spending, because we
Hmm.
never know what's going on, what might happen within our society, right? Where it's like, oh, this price went up, that price went up. And so there's that. And also with flexible dieting, I think the last part is because I'm also very quite versed in fasting. If for whatever reason, we spoke about this really early in our podcast, is for whatever
Yeah.
reason, if I have to go without a meal, you know, it's not a big deal. If I have to go back to, not because I want to, but because out of necessity, let's say, things happen. It's like, man, I could only have one meal a day because it's really messed up. All right. Well, then I've done that before. So let me get my Terry
Right.
Crews on, you know what I'm saying, and have my one meal a day. That doesn't mean I'm not going to keep working out. It doesn't mean that I can't do other things. I'm gonna have to shift a few things, but I've been so flexible with my dieting that one meal a day is not going to shock myself because I'm used to it. Two meals a day is not going to shock myself. Fasting is not going to shock me. Eating only veggies or vegan diet isn't going to make me feel like, oh man, I don't know what to do. And eating foods that have meat is not going to make me feel like that. So I feel like the more flexible your diet is, um, and you keep either your portions low or you know what your calories are, I feel like you come up more on top than those people who tend to say, I don't do this or I don't do that. There you go.
Mm. All right.
Your,
Well,
your
I think
opinion.
flexibility is important as well.
Yeah.
I don't eat meat, but I do try to be flexible. Because I like to hit a lot of local spots for my fruits, my produce.
Yeah.
Rather, I see that like even when the supermarkets are having issues, my
Yep.
people at the fruit stands, they doing a-okay. You know
Oh,
what I'm
that's what's
saying?
up. That's
So
what's up.
yeah, and I'm supporting a local business as opposed to some like big ass supermarket chain. So um, but that comes with flexibility because, for example, you may be like, man, I want to get this broccoli, I want to get this cauliflower, but it may not be good. He may not have any. So you definitely have to be flexible with your planning. Um, but I think that there are ways to be flexible within limits. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be flexible and say like I'm still not going to eat meat or I'm still not going to have cheese or whatever. The
Right.
important part to me is being realistic, right? Like if you say, well, I'm not going to eat cheese, right? You're only going to
Yeah.
do the alternative stuff. Well, then you need to understand that there may be a time that the supermarket doesn't have the alternative stuff
Right.
or that the alternative stuff has doubled in price.
Mm.
And now you got decisions to make. So you need to be able to be flexible within your system. So I agree with that part. I don't think you need to necessarily go like all the way to the opposite end of the spectrum, um, which I know you were just giving as an example. But I do think that flexibility is very important. Like, you know, sometimes you say, like, oh, okay, they didn't have this. What can I substitute with? And I think that's one of the things that the internet is great for. Sometimes I want to make a specific dish or I'm looking to buy specific things. And I'm like, oh man, none of this shit is available. All right, you know what? Let me jump online real quick. What can I do with these items? Or like, oh, okay, I see like my whole plan is out the window, but they got mad sweet potatoes for like super cheap.
Mm.
All right, let
Right.
me get a ton of sweet potatoes and see what type of shit I could do with sweet potatoes. Um, and to be honest, that's kind of my cooking style. My cooking style is kind of like really fluid. You know what I'm saying? Like, although it
Yeah.
is vegetarian, plant based, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Oh, Dre, you got to pick your mic up. Your head is cut off. You
Yeah.
got
Put my camera on.
mic in the camera. There you go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I want the YouTubers to be like, but what happened to Dre? Why is he
No one's saying
Sleepy Hollow now?
that.
You
No
know what I'm
one's saying
saying?
that.
Anyway, um, anyway, you know, I kind of go based on what's available, as opposed to being very rigid. I try to go based on what's available at these fruit stands and what's ripe and not ripe. You know, as a person who's plant based, a lot of times I'm like, same thing. It's like, oh, I want to use these avocados and make this fly guacamole. But when I get home, the guacamole, you know, can't make guacamole. Avocados are solid as a rock. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I try to be flexible and just do things that way. Same thing even when I make my smoothie bowls. Sometimes it's like, oh, I was gonna do this, but those avocados got to be used today.
Right.
So I guess it's gonna be something with avocados.
Right.
But yeah, I think flexibility is important. And as far as finances, um, you got to shop around. You know, I learned that a couple years ago when I was trying to do the vegan thing for a while. I was vegan for about a year, and in that year, I learned like you got to shop around. You know, sometimes your main spot may not have the right prices, especially right now. You know, you might want to check different places. You know, right now prices are very they're fluctuating. You know, it could be like you said, you're not the only person to say that. Another good friend of mine, you know, my best lady friend, she told me like the meat prices have gone nuts. You know, she was telling me like she was trying to make certain dishes and do certain things, and she was kind of forced to switch up. But she also is a fan of going to other spots. You know, she's fortunate enough to live in an area where there's two supermarkets not too far from each other. So she'll go to one, be like, oh, okay, like well, let's just go with your ground beef example. It's like, oh, okay, pound of ground beef is $10. That's like double what I'm used to. Let me check the other supermarket. All right, here is $7. All right, that might be a better look. Um, so yeah, as far as finances, shopping around helps. Even with the fruit stands, I do the same thing. I kind of know the base for what they charge for certain things. So if I know like for
It didn't even come in that loud though.
oh no, oh
Nah, it didn't
okay,
come that
it
loud.
sounded
Yeah.
loud on my side, so I thought it was
Yeah.
going to take over.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like when I listen back to the podcast, there'll be something that I think is like really low, and it'll be super loud. And then the opposite too. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that was loud, and then when I listen back to the podcast, I'm like, oh, you could barely hear that shit.
Right. Yep.
I never know.
Yeah.
So I try to be prepared for whatever. But anyway, yeah, I kind of know the base pay for certain things. So if I know I'm gonna get a bag of spinach, a bag of baby spinach, and the fruit stand usually charges me $2, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and now I see it's $3.50 or $4, I don't want to pay double. So I'll go to a different fruit stand and see like, all right, cool, what's going on
Yeah,
here.
that's what's up. And so
So
you basically, like you said, like you were saying, that's pretty much how you cook. It's like, all right, well, this is what's on sale, or this is what's in my budget. So I guess
yeah,
this is what I'll be making.
yeah.
Rather than being
I
like,
mean, we
I
all
have
have
to
our
have this.
favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have our favorites, but I try to be a little more flexible. Now, I will say when you have kids, it's a little more difficult. Like my daughter loves cauliflower and hates broccoli. So
Mm,
there are times when I got to pivot a little bit. Now it's
right.
like I might have to check a third fruit stand and see if they got that cauliflower. I know she's coming over and I want her to get her veggies in.
Right.
So that goes back to the shop around suggestion.
Now, do you ever try fruits and vegetables that maybe you've never had before? Like,
Yeah.
some like wild Chinese fig fruit. I don't know. I'm making up stuff right now, but something that's
No,
like,
no, I do.
I
I
never
do.
even
It's
had
not,
this
I'll be
before. I
honest, I
wonder.
don't do it a lot because I don't see it a lot.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the fruit stands, they kind of have the same stuff. But like I went to a fruit stand, my main fruit stand, suddenly he started having sour sop recently. And I was like, I might cop some of that next week.
Yeah.
So yeah, I might cop some of that later this week. Just why
Yeah.
not? You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. You got to go to some of the more I'm trying to put it, I guess, ethnic, what I'm saying, areas where it's
Yeah,
like, what I mean, whether it's like traditional Dominican community or Caribbean
right.
community, you know what I'm saying, where they might cater to so many different people from many different islands, then you see something that's like for example, I just learned about breadfruit. It's like a Jamaican thing. It's like this big
Mm,
fruit. I was like, oh my God. And this Jamaican person was like breaking it down, like, oh yeah, breadfruit is just like blah blah blah. I start looking into it. It's like, oh, this is like a staple in Jamaica, and you could get
mm,
it here in the States, but you have to, most of the time it's if you're in a neighborhood that caters to the Caribbean, market. You know what I'm saying? The
right.
Caribbean cats. So yeah,
Got you.
it's just a whole bunch of stuff um, that I know I see it sometimes. Like I'll do that too. Like I'm a Whole Foods guy, and I used to
Mm.
hate Whole Foods, but I actually like Whole Foods now that Amazon took it over, because Amazon has been on something like, yo, we make prices low, bro. Like things got to move, and so Amazon really brought down the prices once they took over Whole Foods, and then every now and then, because they're about getting things off the shelf, they'll throw things on sale all the time now. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times it'd be something I never even seen before. I just, I'll be staring at it. It's just like, whoa, like what
Right.
is this? And usually somebody will come over and be like, you know what that is? And I'd be like, yo, what's the
Right.
science on it? And they'll tell me, and I'll
Right.
be like,
Right.
oh, it's like, yeah, it's good for this, it's good for that. Try with this and that. I'm like, all right, maybe I won't get a big one because I never had it before. I get a small one, medium one, see how it is. Taste it. Oh, okay, all right, it tastes like this. It has certain consistency. You know, a lot of times certain food will have, I think I did this to when you were here, like will have like a meat consistency to it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like it's not meat, but it has that consistency where it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna hold me down for a minute, because that's what I really look
Hmm.
for, is not just the nutrition and the low calories, and we know fruits and vegetables gonna always be low calories, so I don't even worry about it when it comes to that. But how are you gonna hold me down? I don't want to be there in a half hour. Now I'm hungry again. Like that was a waste of my
Right.
time. If I can get a solid 2-3 hours, I'm like, oh, okay, good. I'm ready to eat again.
Yeah.
Got to move
That's
on,
that's
do other
that's
things.
about that fiber.
Right, right. Yeah, that dietary fiber, no doubt. Yeah,
That's right, brother. That's right.
yeah.
All right. So you told me about this term called touchicitis.
Yeah, touchicitis. So let's segue into, and we spoke about things like this before, gym etiquette, right?
Okay.
Gym etiquette. Last time we spoke about gym etiquette, we were talking about cleaning equipment, and it don't have to be a virus for you to be cleaning equipment. You should have been cleaning equipment. You should have been washing your
Right.
hands. The other thing I'm going to talk about in terms of gym etiquette is touchicitis, and a lot of people suffer from touchicitis. And you know these cats when I'm about to tell you who they are. Cats who
All
suffer
right.
from touchicitis are cats who go to the gym, and for whatever reason gotta touch every piece of equipment. They don't have, it don't even look like they have a plan. It's like, what are you doing today? Back, arms, legs, shoulders, neck. What? They just touch every piece of equipment. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it gets on my nerves because it's like, I know, like some people think in their minds, a good workout is that I could be able to say at the end of the workout, yeah, I used like 30 machines. I had a great workout. And it's like, no, that's actually not a sign of a good workout. You know what I'm saying? Like a
Right.
plan, having a plan is a good workout, you know, maybe 2, 3 machines, something like that. But the touchicitis people, they get in there and they have to go to, you see them. You see them. That's why you're laughing right now. You see them. They go bouncing from they just feel like they gotta touch that machine. I gotta get on it. And they'll do like one set of whatever, and then they off to the other one. And it's like, well, what do you do? You more in the way than anything else. Because cats who are in there doing sets, like you and I, you know, we might be 3 sets or 4 sets or something. It's like, yo, I'm gonna be on this machine for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting some sets in.
Right.
And if we're all doing sets at the machine, then it's like, all right, cool, you move on. I move on when I get to the next machine, I'm gonna be on that one for a minute. But touchicitis people, they'll come by, they'll bother you. How long you gonna be on there? And so now you hurrying up because it's like, well, I don't want people to be waiting, so let me hurry up. You hurry up, you get off. Oh yeah, you can go now. Oh yeah, thanks. And then they out. It's like that was it. You suffer from touchicitis. You went in there and spent 3 seconds on that machine just to sit on it or just to lay on it, whatever, and move on. That
Right.
if that's you, you know who you are. If you feel like going to the gym means I need to touch almost every piece of equipment in here, you see them all at the sun. Let's not even talk about cardio. On the real, let's not even talk about cardio. They'll be on the treadmill. Man. They get on the treadmill for 3 minutes. They get off
I'm
the
about
treadmill.
To say 5 minutes, but right.
They get off the treadmill. They hit the elliptical. The next 5 minutes. They get off of that. They on the stepper. What are you doing, son?
They warming up.
You all over the place. You have touchicitis. It's a medical condition, son. Don't laugh. It's serious. On the real. What are you doing? Why are you touching what, you know, they get off the stepper, they go right into the rowing machine. What are you doing? 5 minutes on that. And so it's like, you don't understand those people you got touchicitis. You're not getting a workout in because you're not giving your body a chance to get something going. You're really just taking a break, especially when it comes to cardio. We know if you want an effective cardio session, take some time on it. I'm not saying you need to do an hour, 45 minutes, but a good solid 15 to 30 minutes. Now you got a workout. If you're just going on there, all right, 5 minutes on this one, 5 minutes on that one, then you add it all up, you'd be like, oh yeah, I did like 40 minutes of cardio today. No, you didn't. You know you didn't, because you did a big rest in between. You made your heart rate go way down, and now you're revving it back up. You know? And it's not like what we do in terms of interval training, because we're doing, when we bring it down, we're not getting off. Our heart still has to go. We're bringing it down a little bit, but then we're revving it back up. So what we're doing is called active recovery. You're staying active and you're recovering. They're doing passive recovery, which means you stopped. You're not doing anything. You're walking over to the next one, putting your cup down, putting this over here, setting it up.
Not the cup.
You know what I mean? You know how it is, son.
Tell them why you mad, son.
I'm
Tell them why you mad.
It's not that I'm mad. I'm really trying to help. This is what this show is about. This show is about trying to help people. Food, fitness, and fun. The fitness part, when you get to that gym, have a plan. Because really, the cats that do that, you know, normally they don't even have a plan. They don't really. You be like, "Yo, son, what you doing in the gym today?" I don't know. I'm gonna see. Let me just, I'm just see what's, see how I feel. What? What does that mean? What they're really saying is, I just want to feel every piece of equipment that's in there. I just want to touch it. Can I
All right,
touch
all right,
that?
but let me give you some pushback though. Let me give
Go
you some
ahead.
pushback.
Go through.
What about the cats who do full body workouts? Right? Like, so for example, if I'm in the gym an hour, I know a couple cats who do this, including a trainer.
Right.
Um, what if I'm in the gym for an hour and I'm not doing any cardio, right? So it's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna do I'm gonna do some of the Smith machine. Might do only like, a couple sets, maybe not gonna do 5 sets, might do 2 or 3 sets only, and then move on. What about them cats? They touching a lot
So
of machines.
if you're doing full body, even when you're doing full body, you have a plan. Meaning,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, okay, I'm gonna do full body today. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Most cats who do full body will say, I'm gonna do two, let's say 2 leg exercises, maybe
Mm-hmm.
2 back, 2 chest, you know, and they might get, if they have time, get arms in. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They may or may not. So if that's the case, I can understand that. But you still have to get sets in. If all you
Mm-hmm.
doing is just, let's say, all right, yeah, I'm gonna do legs. I hit the squat rack, boom. I stopped that. Now I'm over here doing shoulders. No, it's this. I can't see that. You didn't. You have to get a few more of those legs in. You know what I'm saying? At
Mm-hmm.
least 3 sets. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I'm talking about the cats who go in there, literally do 1 set, maybe 2, and then they off to do a complete different thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, what are you doing? You just all over the place. So it's a full body workout. You still have to make a decision on what are you doing today. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You still know what exercises you're doing. You're not doing 15 different leg workouts. You can't. You got to do maybe 1 or 2.
Right.
Because you got to do the top of your body. You know what I'm saying? So if I see somebody that's okay, like you said, okay, I'm doing full body. I'm doing squats. I'm gonna do a seated leg press. I'm gonna do calf raises. It's like, whoa, you doing a lot for somebody that's supposed to be full body. That's not full body.
Mm-hmm.
That's the person saying I'm doing legs. You know what I
Right.
mean? You know what I mean? Like, if you're doing legs, you're doing legs. If you're doing full body, you're doing full body. But I can't see you doing legs. You stop doing legs and now you're hitting your shoulders. Like, what? Or are you just so, and I'm telling you, this is from what, I don't know, maybe it's me, but from what I see, you just so mesmerized by looking at a machine that's just
Right.
like, I'm good. Like, you just, it's like, back in that movie where the dog was talking and did he see a squirrel and shit and he's over here? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like, yo, like, you doing legs, but you saw that, wait a minute, is that an ab machine over there? Let me do that. And you just looking at what everybody else doing and you say, oh, well, that looks, oh man, what she's doing over there looks real good. Oh, I'm gonna do split squats now. What? What are you doing? You don't have a plan. And I feel like
Right.
you not having a plan is taking up a lot of time with people who do have a plan because your touchicitis is getting
Mm.
you in the way of everyone else who
Touchicitis.
who wants to really focus and work out. So get focused, have a plan, and then that's how you get results. This sort of
I don't know,
sporadic
son. Some
hitting
cats don't
shit.
have a plan though, son.
I know. I know.
Some cats just go to the gym and be like, I don't know. I'm gonna see when I get there.
Right. Right. And what do they know? And what do they wind up doing when they say that? Let's gotta have a full conversation. Let's go. Just go fully in. When they say, "Yeah," when I get there, I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do because I really don't know what I'm gonna see how I feel when I get there. I'm gonna see. Okay. All right. So what do they normally do? They look around. You know.
Uh,
Oh man, I like what Son is doing. Yeah, let me do that. So they do that. They get tired of it because they don't have
right.
that They don't have that plan, and they don't have that energy to stay with
Mm,
something, to be like, let me
mm,
see this through. So now you're getting exhausted on one machine or one exercise, and rather being like, man, I'm exhausted, but I need to get a couple more sets in, they'd be like, nah, I'm done with this shit. What about this? And so you're not sticking with one thing because you're getting
right.
tired of it. You're getting bored of it, or whatever the case might be. It's like I don't feel like doing that.
So you just
So
you just hop on to some next shit.
I mean, you see what else somebody's doing. Oh, that looks dope over there, yo. That looks, yeah. Let me try that. What you doing, bro? What you rowing? Yeah, let me try that. Oh, what's that do? How that work? Oh yeah, let me try that. You know. Oh, let me see what you doing over there. Oh yeah, you doing. Oh, let me see. You're all over the place. Stop.
Touchicitis.
Touchicitis, kid. No, you got touchicitis. You got touchicitis,
Yo,
man.
what's funny is like every time I'm laughing is because when you say that, I hear like I hear like my uncle and my pops, like I hear like them kind of cats coming like when you little and just touching everything. It's like, yo, what's wrong with you? What you doing? What you got touchicitis or something?
Right.
Like, that's what it
Right.
sounds like when you say it.
And
That's
that's
what
what
that's
it
what
is.
make me laugh. That's what I think about.
Right. Remember when you was a kid,
Touchicitis.
your parents never wanted you to go shopping with them for any
Right.
reason? You know what I'm saying?
Because you had touchicitis.
Because you had touchicitis. You had touchicitis, and you wanted them to buy you everything. It didn't matter. Every aisle you went through,
Everything.
you want, Ma, can we get this? Pa, can we get this? Can we get this? Can we? Oh, we should have left these motherfuckers home. Why are you touching everything? Shit that you're not even interested. You just see it and you distracted, and you're a child. So can I get it though? I mean, I wasn't thinking about it until I saw it.
Right.
And that behavior, even though you're an adult, you still have that shit in the gym, especially if you don't go to the gym often. So you got to think
Right.
about it. It's like you're a kid. It's like you in a shopping center. It's like your parents normally don't take you for whatever reason. They had to take you. They couldn't get somebody to watch your ass. So now
Right.
that you're there, you normally don't go. So here you
Right.
are, and don't really know nothing about nothing, right? Let's say you in like Macy's or some shit. You with your mom,
Right.
and you trying to find shit that maybe you could get. Ma, I like this shirt. Can I get this?
Right.
No, what do you no. No, what about this? I like this over here.
Right.
No, none of this. No,
Right.
you don't even know what
Right.
this stuff does because you don't go
Right. But I
often
like
enough.
it though. But it looks.
But
But yes, I do. It
right,
looks nice. Ma,
I do.
I want this one.
I do like it. I do. And that's what's happening in the gym. You don't go often enough. So when you get there, it's like,
Right.
wow. And don't let that gym that you normally don't go to have a new piece of equipment. Oh, you
Oh, it's
really gonna
over.
have
It's
touchicitis
over.
then.
It's
You know what I'm
over.
saying? What?
Son,
What
it's
is it?
over. You be right in there like
Son, when the TRX, those yellow ropes and stuff came out, people were losing their mind. What do? I put this up here. They were bugging. Everybody now want. You don't even know how these work. I know, but I saw. What does it do? How does it? I strap myself on. Wilding. Well, why are they like that? Because you have touchicitis. That's some shit you wasn't even interested in until you saw it. No, stop. And I'm calling y'all out
Love
on
it,
it
son.
because you know it's you. You know it's you. You're laughing, but you know
It's,
it's you. It's
who
you.
who broke that lamp at 72, man?
It was you.
It was
It
you,
was
Eddie.
you. It was you who went to the gym, messing up equipment that you don't know how it works. You won't get on your
Right.
phone to figure it out. You're just gonna take it up and hurt yourself because it distracted you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Ooh, I want to do this, but you don't even know what it works. But I want to do it though. All right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's
Go for it.
touchicitis. And maybe you can
I
get
see
a
that.
coach or somebody to help you out with that so you can rid yourself of it if you're suffering from it. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
You know what I mean? I'm done. Finished with
Thanks for
y'all.
coming to my TED Talk. That's mad funny. All right, so we are approaching the final quarter of the year.
Uh-huh.
Almost out of here. I know it
Right.
seemed for some of y'all like, nah, we still got time. It's the first day of fall. Listen, man, the end of the year is coming. And that means a new year is coming.
Yes.
And if you want that new body, we're here to tell you it's time to start now. It's time to
Amen.
start now. Why? Everybody, you know what everybody gonna do? Oh, new year, new me. Yeah. 2020.
So tired of hearing that
Son, you
shit
know that's what they do.
every year.
Soon as December hit,
Every year.
soon as December hit, they throw up their little Christmas pictures,
Yep.
chilling with the family,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
showing you their favorite gift. Look at my favorite socks.
Right.
I
Right.
love these socks.
Right.
And then about 2 days later, oh yeah, I'm about to get serious because it's a new year. You know what I'm saying? New year, new me. 2022, this my year.
Right. Right. They get
All
it. They
right.
get
So,
themselves. They get themselves a gym package, and they
right?
wanna. They wanna lose 30 pounds of fat before the new year get here. So they
no,
basically that
no, no, no,
Christmas.
no, no, not before the
Nah,
new year. Not before the new year.
that Christmas to like New Year's Day, they on some like, yo, oh man, I gotta get in shape, blah, blah, blah. It's a new year. And they want to
Right,
do incredibly different, like body transformations
right.
in record time. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
It's like, so right. So like you're saying, now here we are at the time of this podcast, it's the first day of fall. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So now you have some time. So what do you think
right.
they should do?
Well, I think first of all, get your life together. Let's have a real conversation. Okay.
You know what I
First
mean?
of all, no, listen. Let's just keep it real. We gonna keep it
Let's
real.
do it.
Are we gonna
Let's
keep it
do it.
real?
Let's do
All right,
it.
let's keep it real. Listen, this is the Ice Cream King coming to you to tell you if you want a 2022 Superfly brand new body, you got 3 months to start. Now, why do I say 3 months? Okay. If you could give yourself 90 days of consistency, that's the key word here. Consistency.
Mm,
I'm not saying you got to bench 300. I'm not saying you got to run 20 miles. But if every day you wake up and start chipping away at your goals, chipping away, right? Today you do a little something, tomorrow you do a little something. Today you have less sugar, today you have less salt, and you're consistent for 90 days. Your body will be in a rhythm. Your
mm-hmm.
body will begin to change. Okay, it takes time to get rid of bad habits. Okay, there's all kind of science on how long it takes. Great, forget about the exact number. I'm saying dedicate these 90 days. It's more than 90 days because it's still September right now, but dedicate these 90 days not to me, not to Dre, to yourself.
Preach.
Dedicate these 90 days to you, boo boo. To you. Dedicate these 90 days to you. You want to look good for 2022? Give yourself 90 days of consistency. Every day, just try to do something. I'm not saying you got to do an hour on the elliptical. I'm not saying you got to go and squat 1,000 pounds. But if every day you're chipping away at those goals, in 90 days, you're going to see some changes. In 90 days, let me be clear. I'm not saying you're going to go from fat to fit. I'm not saying you're going to go from 600-pound life to anorexic model. Not saying any of that. But what I am saying is with consistency, you will start to feel better. You start to look better, and both of those things are going to make you feel great.
and
But you
and
have to start now.
right, and your approach, fuck that. Your approach got to be guerrilla. You know what I'm saying? Your approach got to be on some like, look, fuck the bullshit excuses. I know you have kids and I know you work, but I also know you sit at that television and you catch up on all the bullshit and you eat all the bullshit and you drink all the bullshit. So everything Jay is saying is true. Only thing I would add is you gotta put that dieting plan in there too, as well as that exercise. And yes, in 90 days you are going to see a difference. Now, don't do the BS. Don't start off weak. And when I say don't start off weak, what I mean is, okay, by the time we air this, it's probably about Tuesday or Wednesday, something like that, right? Now, I'm not saying you need to start Thursday. I'm not even saying you need to start Friday. I say, hey, start making your plan tomorrow, right? Start doing your research. Start making a plan tomorrow, okay? Give yourself this last weekend of garbage, all right?
Of
And just
nonsense.
of nonsense. But by Monday, say, okay, let's do it. Don't wait till October because, oh, well, Jay said 90 days. So October, November, December. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then by January, I'll be good. So I'm going to just wait till October. Then you are already setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for failure because you're basically saying, all right, it's the 20 something. I'm just going to like let these last 2 weeks or whatever. No, 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 no. Plan now. You finish listening to this podcast, start planning. Wednesday, start doing that research. Thursday, getting
Right.
all the intricate things. Friday, Saturday, do all the shopping you think you're going to need. Figure out
Right.
where you're going to be doing your exercise at the house, at the gym, outside. Have 3 or 4 different things. Listen to this podcast. We've been talking about different things you could do. So go back a couple of episodes if you need to and find things that you like to do. And then on Monday, not October, Monday, get it popping, get it started. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait, don't procrastinate. Do it now. You know what I'm saying? Because the reason why I'm saying that is things are going to happen. There is going to
Yep.
be some like, student teacher conference that you might have to go to. There is going to be, so and so's, graduation or whatever that you can't miss or something like that.
Mhm.
Fine. Those things are going to happen. But if you start now, you're planning ahead for those days that you might have to miss because life does happen. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But don't
Yep.
wait until October and have all these days not doing anything. No, start now, research now, get doing what you want to do on Monday, get that diet together. And so this one, when you slip up and you make mistakes, you got a few days already in the tank. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And let's keep it real. Holidays are coming. You gonna eat crazy. Don't wait until after that shit to get started.
Oh, son,
Start
preach,
now.
preach. Don't
Start
wait
now.
after, because this listen, let's just talk about what's going to happen because we already know and everything, all pie make techniques are correlated. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, everything is all connected. So we know
Yep.
mad cats and took your vaccine and you feel like I have my vaccine, I'm gonna go back out. Halloween is coming, you're gonna go to the fly Halloween parties, you're gonna drink. Thanksgiving is coming. You're going to go and hit all these places that you couldn't do last year. Go see this person house, that person house. So-and-so makes the best pies. You know what I'm saying? You're going to drink this and this. You're going to eat this and that. All right. Okay. First thing I have to say is maybe you want to take it down a notch. You don't have to engage in everything. I know you miss it all, and I
Right.
know it's all delicious, but you don't have to do all of it. And you don't need big portions. You know, small portions just for the taste. You know, Just the marshmallows. You don't need the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Just the marshmallows. Just a handful. That's it. Calm down.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you guys are gonna have that illusion. You're gonna be out there. Thanksgiving's gonna come, and then you're gonna be feeling that New Year coming. You're gonna put on that weight, and then you're gonna be coming off to me or to Jay or whatever, and just being like, "Yo, how can I lose? It's like I just need to lose like 20 pounds." And it's like, well, you can lose 20 pounds, and you're gonna be looking great for summer of 2022. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
You'll be looking great then. But as far as the new year, just love those pounds. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be cold outside. You're gonna have a jacket on.
That's
Nobody
right.
can see
I
it.
was about to say some wild left field shit. Let me shut up.
You know what I mean? So
Not the
don't even worry
place.
about
Take
it.
the police for that. Not a
But
Pumbaa, not in front of the kids.
you know what I mean? So you need time to body transformations are dope. We all love them. We all have the side by sides. We put them up on our Instagrams and Facebooks. They're fly. They're great. But earn them. You know what I'm saying? You do that by putting that time in every day.
Yep.
Record yourself. We've had episodes about recording your data. Record your data. You know what I'm saying? Look at yourself, Hey, get yourself some sort of Fitbit, or if you don't want to do that, get yourself a notebook and just start, old school, writing it down every day. Whatever you need to do.
Right.
But make yourself accountable to something. You know what I'm saying? Measure your food, you know, measure what you're doing every day, how much time you're putting in, because that's going to make the difference. And then if you do it now, when 2022 gets here, you're gonna have not a complete crazy like, oh man. Some people will, because everybody's body is different, people different genetics, whatever. But you're going to see the difference. And you know what? More than that, you probably won't. It'll be people around you. I can't
Yep.
tell you how much I look at myself and I just feel like ain't nothing changed, and everybody else is around me laying like, son, what are you talking about? Like, I see you. You know what I'm saying? So you
Yes.
probably won't see it, but you'll start to notice what people will say around you. So just get started now, don't procrastinate. That's all. Yeah.
And the other thing is everybody wants a hot summer body, right? So let me just give you a little secret right now. If you start now, you got crazy months. We talking more than 9 months. You know what kind of transformation you could have in 9 months? 9 months? Yo, if you are consistent for 9 months, even me, let's say I was starting from zero. If I started today, in 9 months, summer will be crazy. You want that crazy summer body? Start now.
Right.
Start now and be consistent from now till summer, which is nuts. I suck at stuff like that. I'm going to keep it real. 9 months of consistency is a challenge for me. I'm going to keep it real. But if you're consistent for 9 months, let me make my ugly face one time.
Right.
In 9 months, you're going to be looking super fly.
Right.
In 9 months, you're going to be looking like you were chiseled by the gods. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're going to be looking like the best you ever probably looked. I know that's a stretch, but my point is, if that's your mentality, if that's the thought, like, yeah, I'm going to get this 2022 summer body popping. I want to be in my fly bikini or my Speedo, whatever you like. Don't wait till January to start.
Yeah.
Start now. Start now. Get ahead of the game, baby.
And let
Get
me
ahead of
just
the
say
game.
this.
And you'll be surprised when you get to them New Year's events and the
Yeah.
Christmas gatherings. People gonna be like, oh shit, that's Dre? Damn.
Right.
Yo, Dre, yo, what's up, Dre? What you doing? You looking good as fuck. What's going on?
Yeah. And the good
Just
thing to
saying.
have for that new year is a good problem to have for that new year is that you got clothes you can't fit into because everything is falling off, right? So you can
Talk
really
about it.
Christmas yourself up by getting, sizes, 2 sizes down or something. And that's a beautiful feeling when you're walking into a store.
Medium.
You know what I mean? Just get schmeeds all day. But let me
That's
let me
it,
say this.
baby.
let me say this before we log off, and that is, I'm starting a remote fitness coaching program. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
so I think the biggest thing is when you want to have those goals is, well, who are you accountable to, right? Because it's like, when I feel like, well, it's just me, of course I could cheat because ain't nobody gonna tell on me. But when I feel
Right.
like I'm accountable to somebody, right? So something that Jay and I have been doing for years, and people always ask, well, how y'all maintain consistency? Because number one, we don't lie to each other, and we let
Right.
each other know what we're doing, whether we're succeeding or we're not meeting our goals. I'm not going to say failing. I'm going
Right.
to say we're not meeting the goals that we set. And so we keep it
Right.
real with each other. Plenty of times Jay be like, well, Dre, like, what should I like? Should I do the A or the B or the C? It's not that he doesn't know what to do. It's just like, well, I need to keep who's going to keep me consistent, And so what I'm going to do now is start launching the same things I've been doing for people that I care about. Let's put it out there where it's like, okay, you might be someplace completely away from me, so we may not be able to physically work out, but
Right.
that's where coaching comes in. It's like you may know what to do, may not know what to do, but you just need that person who has like a lot of years of experience to be like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. Or just to be like, simply, what are you eating on every day? I want to know what you're eating every single day. You know what I'm saying? What is it nutritional? If it's not, and when you make those mistakes, hey, let me know, because then we can make some
Right.
adjustments. So we'll probably flash something, on the screen to kind of let y'all know if that's something that you're interested in. But we know in order to really get those results, you got to feel that you're accountable to someone, that somebody else is watching you.
Right.
That's why they have you believe in Santa Claus and all that other stuff, because you got to, hey, he knows when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake. It's like, if you believe that somebody's keeping you accountable of stuff, let me not wild out and do crazy things. So
Right.
that's the same thing here, is that, hey, let me stay accountable to someone. And mainly, honestly, you're going to be accountable to yourself, because if me and you have a conversation and you say, well, yo, Sensei Dre, like, these are my goals right now. Oh, okay. That's all right, those are your goals. We're gonna get there together. Now I'm gonna
Right.
keep you accountable of it. So if you're like, oh, man, it's been stressful and I didn't get to the gym today. Okay, that's cool. Then tomorrow I didn't get there, and I didn't get to the day after that, and I didn't get to the day. Okay, now we playing games. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? So yeah, look into I'm gonna have more information. And for those of you who are really trying to take your goals seriously, and you feel like, hey, I might need a little bit of help, let's do it.
And let me say something for those who are listening and may be hesitant. Um, I've known Dre for many years, and on this podcast, you've heard me talk about how he helped me thoroughly throughout my fitness journey. That has been both in person and remote. As he said, there's times when I reach out and say, like, hey, I did it today. Hey, man, the other day I did 2 cardio sessions in one day. I wowed out. Should I skip cardio one day? And that's not saying a failure or anything, but sometimes you need that extra little advice, right? Dre's really good at that. And another thing Dre's really good at is pushing you in a positive way, right? There have been times when I'm like, yo, Dre, man, I'm super stressed out. I ate like trash today. And then on top of that, I bodied a whole pint of Ben and Jerry's in one sitting. I know I wowed out. Dre's not cursing me out and yelling, yo, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, all right, son. So you wowed out. All right. Well, you wowed out. So now here's what we can do to try to get back on track. So for those of you who may not know Dre and may just be seeing like the podcast or some of the clips he's posting on his Instagram, this may be a little helpful. And those who know me know I keep it real. If Dre wasn't great at it, I would say, well, maybe you need to avoid these things or stuff like that. This is not some 5-star rating because he's my boy. He has truly helped me. You can see the results. You see how well we gel. It's not just because we're cool. Even if we were just cool, I wouldn't be spending 2.5 hours in the gym with him when we link up. It would be like, well, let's go watch this movie or some shit because I don't want to be in the gym with you. So just to give people a little bit of the other side. Dre is saying what he's gonna do. I want to give y'all a little bit of someone speaking from experience, working with him both in person and remotely. And at this point, we probably worked remotely more, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, probably yeah. At this point, because
Yeah, because
I left
we've been apart for a
NYC.
minute.
Yeah, yeah. I left NYC years ago, and we never
Yeah.
felt that we've been apart. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's kind of
No,
hard
that's
for
what I'm
me.
saying.
Yeah,
So yeah, we've still been in communication, sending each other stats. I mean, the food we picked up more recently.
right,
Before it was once in the blue, like, son, I found this dope tofu burrito on 53rd Street. Check this
right,
shit out.
right.
Now it's more like, all right, this is what I did today.
Yeah,
We kind of
we
been.
we've gotten more accurate when it comes to food, but we've always talked about different diets, right? We always been like,
Yes.
"Yo, what about this diet? Yo, son, I heard about this one. What's the research on this, and what's the research on that?" Well, I came to you and be like, "Yo, son, this is gonna sound weird, but I'm doing this like you know, old man, and you're like, what? Like I gave it a try, and so we're both
Right.
big on self experimentation. It's like, and so we honest with just like I've done old man. Here are my picks, and you just be like, what? Yeah, it took me 2 months. I'm
Right.
not going to tell you it's easy. I'm not going to even tell you to do it, but if you're interested in it, I'm gonna tell you how I did it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So we've always talked about different diets, the pros and the cons. Now we've stepped up our game to say, hey, let's talk more specifically about what foods are we having in these diets. What
Right.
things are we avoiding, what things are we having more of, and it's only because
Yep.
I've gotten, we both really have gotten better and better at this fitness game. You know, and so and I appreciate everything you said. So now I feel like I'm at the point because I wouldn't, me, I wouldn't even put myself out there if I didn't feel like I'm an expert at this, you know.
Right.
Um, I don't put myself out on things I'm kind of like, I put myself out on things that I know, you know.
Right.
As I mentioned before, I'm a black belt in martial arts. I've been doing martial arts for well over 20, 25 years. You know what I'm saying? So when I
Hmm.
get kids in front of me, it's because I know what I'm doing. I'm not going to do something with you if I don't know what it is. I wouldn't put it
Right.
out there. I'll try so many different things for me personally, but I'm not going to lead people into something that I'm not completely um, an expert at. And so at this point, I feel like, hey, I'm just for a minute. I've had people like you, who've thanked me just recently. My partner, my brother Doug, who uh, lost a lot of weight. How did he do it? I was just like, yo, Doug, you ever try fasting? How's it done, Dre? All right, you're gonna hear a lot of things, but I'm gonna tell you this, this, and this. They make it complicated. You know how we get down. I don't make it
That's right.
complicated. Made it simple for
Nope.
him to understand. He lost a ton of weight. Lost a ton of weight. If you see his pics, he's like, man, I lost a lot of weight. Great. Now he's calling me up, Dre. I like that I lost weight, but I want to get that muscle again. Well, now we're having a different conversation. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's like, it's funny because I feel like I'm just a few steps ahead. If you look at it in terms of chess, it's like, I lost a ton of weight. And I said the same thing. It was like, okay, I like the way I look, but I missed that muscle. So what did I do? I changed my diet, got back onto the muscle kick, and that's where I'm at now. This is
Right.
why I say, when we talk about these things in the podcast, the grass is always green on the other side. When you feel like, I did this, let me try something different. So I've had enough experiences with different types of people, men, women, that I feel like, hey, I've been successful in coaching people. And the reason why I'm using the title as sensei is not just because I'm a martial arts teacher, but sensei simply means teacher in
Right.
Japanese. And so it's like, well, we strongly believe in each one teaching one. So I'm at the
Yep.
point now where I'm kind of like an expert at this. So it's not just that I'm coaching you, but I'm teaching you. And, you know, if something you feel like you want to give it a try, contact me and we could talk about it. And hey, like I said, I just feel like you get better results when you're accountable to someone. Period.
That's it.
That's it. All right, man.
That's it. We out of here, baby. See y'all next week.
And let's roll out, roll out, roll out, roll out. Let's roll out.